Hi, I'm Nurdini.
Hi, I'm Abang Joe.
Hi, I'm Mia.
Hi, I'm Shahfiq.
Hi, I'm Mikan.
For today's topic that we're going to present our audit planning and fieldwork.
What our planning means in auditing.
Planning means strategy that involve expected nature, timing, and extend an audit. Why we need planning in audit? 1. Avoid misunderstanding with the client. 2. Minimize legal liability. 3. Conduct audit with manner. 4. Keep audit costs with reasonable level. There are 8 steps of auditing. 1. Pre-plan. 2. Understand client's business. 3. Client business risk. 4. Perform preliminary analytical procedure. 5. Materiality. 6. Understand internal control. 7. Gather information. 8. Overall audit plan and audit program.
2. Pre-plan, client's acceptance. In this part, we are going to talk about new client. Do you know what are the reasons for the investigation towards the new client?
I think investigation is needed towards the new client because we are afraid that the new client will have relations with previous auditor.
Also, investigation is needed because we need to know the background of the company.
Moving on to procedures. The first procedure is to obtain and review information about client's business and industry.
It will help the auditor to understand the nature, type, and need of client.
The second procedure is reviewing client's financial report. It provides the auditor overall view of the client's financial activities.
The next one is inquiring of bankers, lawyer, and other resources about the client's reputation. This will provide some understanding about the client's reputation.
And the last one is communicating with preceding auditor. How can we communicate with preceding auditor? Let's check it out. Firstly, in order to communicate with preceding auditor, the successor auditor must get the client's permission first. If it is not allowed, the auditor must decline the appointment. Next, the successor auditor needs to ask the predecessor auditor whether there is any professional reason for the proposed change. If yes, the predecessor auditor will have to provide him with all the necessary details to decide whether to accept or reject. If the successor auditor does not receive any replies, he is required to send a reminder to the predecessor auditor, or communicate with him any other ways. Lastly, if there is no response within a reasonable period, the successor auditor should inform the predecessor auditor of his intention to accept the engagement. We are now moving to continue client. Scope of audit work. In this section, we will talk about engagement letter.
Excuse me, can I ask, what is an engagement letter?
Engagement letter is an agreement letter sent by auditor's firm to his client before the commencement of audit assignment. So, what are the purpose of this engagement letter? The engagement letter is needed to confirm the acceptance of appointment and form of audit report. Next, it is also to clearly defines the auditor's responsibilities and objectives, and also the scope of audit. The engagement letter is needed because it will protect us from legal liability. And lastly, it is to avoid misunderstanding between auditor and client. Moving on to content. These are the contents of the engagement letter. The first content is objective of the audit of financial statements. Next is scope of the audit. Then, the responsibilities of client's management for accounting records and preparation of financial statements. After that, auditor's right to access records, documents and information. Then, form of reports. Next, deadlines for completing the audit. And lastly, audit fees. Auditor doesn't need to send letter each period. However, there are some reasons for the auditor to send a new letter. So, when can the auditor send a new letter?
The auditor may send a new letter if there is any indication that the client misunderstands the objective and scope of audit.
Also, if there is any revised or special terms of the engagement.
Also, the auditor must send a new letter if there is any recent change of senior management, board of directors or ownership, and if there is any legal requirements.
Fraud and error. Fraud can be in many ways, just like this cashier here must give a record to the supervisor, but she put some of money inside her pocket, so there is a fraud. Error means a transaction that wrongly recorded but didn't have an intention to do it. Who is responsible for detect fraud and error? Is it an auditor or the management? The management are responsible of fraud and errors because the management is the owner of an asset, so the management can detect fraud and error well. Responsibilities of auditor is to give an opinion of the company's financial statement and aware of possibility existence. Management assertion. Assertion means statement. There are 6 related to audit objectives. 1. Occurrence, or exist. 2. Completeness. 3. Accuracy. 4. Classification. 5. Rights and obligation. 6. Valuation and allocation.
Next, we are moving into knowledge of client's business risk and industry. These are the factors that increases the importance to understand it. These factors helps the auditor to focus which area he needs to be concerned and what to audit.
What does it has to do with industry and external environment?
There will be risk with a specific industry and also risks to the customers.
Oh, I get it. So, what about the business operation and processes?
In business operation and processes, it is based on how the company finance their operational activities and sources of financing. Now, let's move to client's business risk. Risk. It is defined as a situation involving exposure to danger. These are the factors that will cause business risk. Those business risk will lead to audit risk. Audit risk is a situation where an auditor gives an unqualified audit opinion when the financial statement is materially misstated. Basically, there are 3 types of audit risk. That is, inherent risk, control risk, and detection risk. So, do you guys know what is the meaning of these risks?
Inherent risk? I think it is a risk that arises due to error and omission that is done by the company.
While control risk arises when the error cannot be detected by an entity's internal control.
Thus, a detection risk will happen. This situation arises when the control risk failed to remove the error earlier.
Let's move into preliminary analytical procedures. The preliminary analytical procedures helps in guiding the audit planning.
It helps in making a comparison based on large and small amount to know where the focus of audit that might be understated or overstated.
There are a few types of preliminary analytical procedures consisting industry data, similar prior data, and lastly, budgeted data. Let us move into materiality. These are the types of materiality, which are qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative factors needs more evidence to reduce materiality, while quantitative factors are based on amount.
That's all from us. Thanks for watching, guys.